Former Vice President Mike Pence has ended his 2024 Republican presidential campaign in total humiliation. He made this announcement during a speech to the Republican Jewish Coalition, I believe it's called. A bunch of the Republican candidates spoke to this group over the weekend, and we already looked at some video of Trump speaking to that group. Pence just never really was able to get going with the campaign. It's not a big shock. It's sort of like the same thing as Tim Scott. You know, with Tim Scott, who's a black Republican senator from South Carolina, it just didn't pass the sniff test. You know, if Republican voters recently voted for Trump, who ushered in a sort of public welcoming of racism and xenophobia, it's very difficult to imagine that Republican voters are going to go, let's go from the guy who coalesced racism to a black guy. It just didn't seem likely. And similarly, Mike Pence was the guy they were trying to hang for that's actually what they said. We want to hang this guy on January 6th. It's similarly hard to imagine that the Trump supporters would go from being on the side of chanting hang Pence to supporting Mike Pence. And indeed, it didn't work for him. Here is Pence making the announcement, citing biblical passages and who knows what else. Take a listen.
I just couldn't sit this one out. But the Bible tells us that there's a time for every purpose under heaven. And traveling across the country over the past 6 months, I came here to say it's become clear to me, this is not my time. So after much prayer and deliberation,
it's funny that when you're polling 3% for months, you have to pray to know what to do. It's like, I think if you showed the polling numbers to a 6-year-old, they'd be like, I don't need to ask God about this one, Mike.
I have decided to suspend my campaign for president effective today.
Wow. Wow.
Now I'm leaving this campaign, but let me promise you, I will never leave the fight for conservative values, and I
thank God for that.
Will never stop fighting to elect principled Republican leaders to every office in the land.
Right.
So help me God.
Really brave and powerful statement from Mike Pence. Now, just as a reminder, if we look back at the polling, you know, you got Trump at almost 60 and you've got DeSantis at 12 and Nikki Haley at 8 and Vivek Ramaswamy at 4.5, and then Mike Pence at 3.5%. Now, I don't think we should just be making fun of Mike Pence. Like, we all knew he had no shot. We all knew his campaign was dead on arrival. But we should give him some credit because there are lots of other candidates who also should realize right now that they can't win. And they aren't having the decency to drop out. They're insisting on sticking around. If you're DeSantis, I guess you can justify staying in. I mean, after all, you're in second place. You're the only person other than Trump polling in double digits. If you're Nikki Haley, you have gone from 1 to 8% and gone from whatever place she started in to third place. She has a path to second place. If you're Nikki Haley, I think you can justify staying in. Vivek Ramaswamy at this point, Pence, Christie, Scott, Hutchinson, Burgum, I don't think any of them can really justify staying in. So at least Mike Pence is doing the thing that makes sense. And if these Republicans want a shot at beating Trump, they should have the humility and the common sense and the pragmatism to say, hey, if we all stay in this thing, Trump's definitely going to win. If we start getting out and maybe we all endorse the same person, maybe there's some way that we can at least get positioned for a strong showing in Iowa or New Hampshire or Nevada, South Carolina. And then maybe there's some way to claw away some support from Trump. But if it stays this way, there is simply nothing that is going to get in the way of Donald Trump being the nominee. So good for DeSantis. I'm sorry. Good for Pence. He realized he couldn't win. He wasn't going to win. The only real question is, why did he get into this thing in the first place? Is this the end of Pence's political career? I mean, probably, right? I don't know. It sort of seems like it. How old is Mike Pence? Let me see if I can find that. It's got to be close to 70. No, he's 64. I mean, listen, could he try it again at age 68? Maybe. It just would have to be a very different Republican Party at that point in order to even consider somebody like Mike Pence. So off he goes, and we will see who is next. So I wrote another book for kids. The first book was Think Like a Detective. The point of the first book was to teach kids critical thinking, which Republicans don't want them to learn, because when kids learn critical thinking, they don't vote for Republicans. The new book is Think Like a Scientist. This is a fun adventure teaching kids the scientific method. Again, Republicans aren't big on kids learning the scientific method, because when they do, they're less likely to fall for Republican lies about climate change and vaccines and so many other things. You can get the new book as well as the first one at davidpakman.com/book. This is part of the Adventures in Thinking series. Can you imagine that we're doing this? We are. davidpakman.com/book. 13,500 copies of the first book have sold. I'll bring you an update soon on sales for the second book. Think Like a Scientist, davidpakman.com/book.